and that I'm right, because would you go to space, Taylor, if you were given like a ticket up there to, would you get in that rocket, get strapped in?
It'd be really scary, but it's one of those things where it's like, this is something like no one ever gets to do. So I think I'd buck up my buttercup
I'd be so
ass
scared.
and I'd get in there. I'd be so scared. Actually, I would need to go not just with experts. I would need like a friend of mine also to be.
Let me tell you what I'm afraid of.
So that we could like bounce off each other. Like, all right, he's not freaking out. I'm not going to freak out either.
I bet we're afraid of different things. I am not afraid of blowing up on the launch pad. I'm not afraid of the vehicle exploding on reentry or anything catastrophic. I am so afraid, and so much so that I'm getting a little claustrophobic now thinking about being in that tin can and it goes off course and the boosters or the rockets or whatever we use to like, oh yeah, correct, go back the other way. For whatever reason, they go haywire and we start spinning now, twirling off out of like into space or like into a weird funky
disappearing.
Orbit. Or like, you know, you're just you're going off on a bad trajectory. If you get slung away, like it would be, you would have so much time to just know that you are 100% dead. There are very few times here on Earth where you could be in a spot where you are dead and no one can change it. It'd be like, well, if the Navy really wanted to come here and get me, they could. They'd send their best submersible and they'd fly it here in a jet. Okay, you know, you're right. They would do that. But you're in space. You're in the best thing that they had. You're it.
Yeah, there's no catching up to you. It's over.
You're flying faster right now than any man ever has, away from the rest of humanity.
you hope that radio signal starts going. I'm hitting that. I'm like, all right, guys, you've got 18 and a half minutes of the best podcast I can put up with before I break down.
It's just sobs. It's just sobs and moans.
No.
Watch a few YouTube shorts.
I've watched a couple videos. I'm not convinced. I think if I take my helmet off and I jump out, it explodes. I'm a scientist. I'm not sure. Is that what happens? Like, how do I do this best?
No.
You just open the door and you just get sucked out. Or maybe crushed, something bad. You're not going to be okay. Like it'll end it.
Yeah, you don't get sucked out. I think your blood kind of boils because of the zero pressure, and you know there's gases infused in it that are only gaseous at the pressures that we're
atmosphere
continuously
pressure,
under.
Yeah, I think you just boil from the inside and die. Like your eyes explode. It's just awful. Yeah. I'm trying to think. Maybe I would just asphyxiate. I think that'd be the better one, you know, because
that's the other thing. Like, your lungs explode.
Yeah, no, oxygen level low, and I'm like, sweet God, it's just like turning the car on and sitting in there. I'll just go to sleep. I think I'll do that.
I'm in space, and I'm flying away from civilization faster than any man has ever traveled. Yet my radio still works for something. I think I'm gonna say Kanye's onto something. I like Hitler.
Yeah.
Oh my God. just leave that one. Everybody's like, why would he say that?
Why? And
it's the perfect plan, because then they're like,
NASA lost radio.
Is forming a shuttle to retrieve this anti-Semite and bring him to justice.
No, that's not what happened. NASA lost contact with Mr. Woodworth earlier this afternoon before he was able to make his last broadcast.
Eulogizing me, making me some sort of hero on my way out that I dropped that bomb.
Let's listen to this poor AI-generated second version of like his message. Wow, this is not that great. Tell my family I love them.
Well, Donald Trump 2028. He's going to run again in 28 after he wins this time.
No, he'll be in his 80s.